Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Eric here, guys, with the TRD Squad, bringing you guys a true Draco control deck profile. This deck is still really good. I'm not gonna say it's tier 0. This is still considered like to be like a rogue deck, but honestly, like the way I've made this deck, I've been working on it for like a couple of months now, and I really like where I'm at right now. I've tried out the different like variants playing it. Like people have played Pot of Desires, just to get that extra draw power, because this deck has a tendency to break a lot. And I think I've kind of fixed that now with the way I run the deck. I'm not going to say it's the best way to run the deck, but I've actually had a lot of success playing this version of the deck, which is a deck, the way I play it out now, the way I've constructed it right. I really have a lot of success with it. I've been playing this deck online now for about 3 weeks on Dueling Nexus. I know it's Dueling Nexus. Nobody likes it. It kind of sucks, and then honestly, it really does. But when I'm at work or late at night, whatever free time I have, I can only play on Dueling Nexus. So yeah, that's all I got. But anyways, I've actually made it to the top 10%. At one point, I was even in the top 100. I was ranked top 100. I got knocked out by Black Wings. I lost to them twice in a row, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of success. I've still managed to stay in the top 10%. I've been that way for 3 weeks now playing it. I played Dragon Links, Invoked Shaddolls, Pure Shaddolls, Invoked Eldritch, or different variants of those decks, right? Zoo Eldritch, Pure Eldritch, PK, Cyber Dragon. A lot of decks out there that I've managed to, especially Dinos. Yeah, this deck does really good against Dinos if you get your floodgates out. Dinos basically just scoops every turn. Yeah, I've had a lot of success with this deck. I do lose to like other rogue decks that like just play like a lot of back row removers, things like that sort. I'm going up against Mystic Mine or like someone like those decks like that. Mystic Mine Burn, Mystic Mine Lockdown. This deck has no problem playing against Mystic Mine. It's super easy. You out Mystic Mine really fast. You don't have any issues with it whatsoever. Even playing Dragoon decks like Graveyard, Gravekeepers, Dragoon decks, or whatever it's called. This deck has no issue going up against Dragoons. This deck, can out Dragoon super easy. I know Dragoon is a very problematic card. For some of my other decks that I play, it's problematic. For true Dracos, it's not problematic at all whatsoever. This deck just does really good against that. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's get into this deck profile. So I'm going to showcase you guys this deck profile. It's slightly different from what I normally do. I run like a variety of just different engines in this deck to help me, to help me unbreak those breaking hands. Because I said that is one of the issues this deck suffered from with after a lot of the cards got limited. So start things off. Here's my true Draco lineup. Here we play 3 Dynamite, 3 Ignis, 3 Maiden, and I like this ratio right here. I know a lot of people just play 2 Maiden. And I thought it was kind of funny because you'll see a lot of people playing like 2 Maiden or Pod Desires, and then they banish their only copies. No, we play 3 Maiden because this card is just super good. It's slightly, a lot of people just underrate this card. This card is good because it searches Dynamite. That's the only reason I played 3 of. If you open up this card, on your opponent's turn, guaranteed you're going to have Dynamite in your hand. As long as they activate just 1 card effect. 4 spell cards, 3 Heritage right here. Really good card, helps you with that draw power as well. 2 Draco Phoenix just to shuffle some of your graveyard cards back into the deck. And you get that +1 as well. The 1 diagram there, because when you do have this card, it allows you to search your cards a lot easier. And honestly, this deck doesn't really rely on this card. I know a lot of people want to see this card back as a 3 of. I disagree with that. I'd rather see Dynamite as a 3 of. Diagram is good, but with the way I play my deck, I don't even rely on this card that much. I've actually thought about cutting it out sometimes, but I do play 40 card decks, so I mean, 1 card is just pretty good. 3 Apocalypse, that card is just too good. And then 2 True King's Return. I know this card's a 3 of, but honestly, being a 2 of right now, I really like it that way a lot better. I don't need to see the 3rd copy. I don't ever use this card for like its special abilities. I usually just pop it on my opponent's turn to get that disruption. But anyways, guys, this is basically it for my true Draco lineup right here. For our draw engine, we play a lot of draw cards. This is basically like Draco Pendulums in a way because we just have a bunch of draw cards here. Card of Demise, 2 copies of Blue Boy, 2 Spellbook Secrets, 1 Spellbook of Knowledge, and then the 3 Cloud Duality. This is how we unbreak our hands right there, guys. We have 1, 2, 3, was it 6, 7, 8, 9? Was it, yeah, 9 cards to be able to draw us into more cards. And I like all these cards because if you use one to draw some cards, it doesn't limit you from drawing again. Like if you play Pot of Extravagance, you can only activate. I mean, you can only draw for that Pot of Extravagance, and then you can't draw anymore because the card has a restriction. Pod Desires, if you activate Pod Desires to draw into Pod Desires, you can activate the second one. If I activate Pod Duality and I draw into like Blue Boy, I can activate Blue Boy, draw 2. If I do that and I go into Card Demise, I can still activate Card Demise, guys. Allow me to plus like like 6 times right there, right? So I like this lineup right here. This never really breaks your hand because once again you just use them to draw into more cards into your deck. So this what really helps the deck like not be so bricky. And then we play like a small Monarch engine here, or a small Monarch draw engine, I guess, and also floodgates with it. Play the three Pantheism, two Domain, two March, and then the three Erupts there. This is just so good, right? You have like a bunch of floodgates here. You have your Eruptor, which is basically a skill drain. Domain, lock your opponent out of the extra deck. Like if you open up these two cards and you got one Tribute Summon monster on your side of the field, like against Dragon Link, they just scoop and pass because they can't do anything. They normal summon Cypher. They can't activate its effect. They can't link it off for Striker Dragon to search out the field spell. You know, they just shuts them down completely. They pass. The March on the Monarchs, really good card. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't have to worry about it. But this card comes in super clutch when you're playing Dragoon. Because your Tribute Summon monsters cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So you get that protection right there. So yeah, I really do like this card. It comes in quite a bit because it makes your monsters basically like unaffected by card effects almost. And then the three Pantheism, of course, because it is another +2. So even though this is like our floodgate part of the deck, it's also another draw engine that we have, which allows this deck just to plus big time. We have like 12 different ways to draw cards. And also at the same time, we're also just setting up floodgates or locking out our opponent from like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think that's what makes this deck so good. I really like this right here. I mean, you could argue that you could play like a summon limit here. Or like there could be only one. But like I said, this just comes a whole lot better because I can just draw like Pantheons of the Monarchs with any other Monarch card in your hand is basically a +3 because you get that draw 2, banish Pantheism, add one Monarch card back to your hand. So like I said, it just comes in really good because you get to draw into your deck a lot as well. For the last card, guys, in our main deck, for the last 3 cards, 3 Solemn Judgment. I know a lot of Yu-Gi tubers hate this card. They say it sucks this format. I strongly disagree. We're in a format where you play a lot of back row, and if they have Lightning Storm or Feather Duster, I mean, it's game over for you. It's game over for us if they have that. So Solemn Judgment just gives it that really good protection against Feather Duster and Lightning Storm. That's the only reason we play it. You never want to use it to stop a summon. You strictly just save it for whenever they can easily get rid of your back row, right? Really good card. If you don't want to play Solemn Judgment, I strongly recommend not to play, but if I understand if you don't want to play it at all, you can easily just play There Can Be Only One or Summit Limit. Those are also good cards as well. That's it for my main deck, guys. Once again, we play no extra deck because of our floodgates. For our side deck, and this is all completely optional. It's just what I've been playing online. 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 3 Dark Lord No More, 3 Mystic Mine, 3 There Can Be Only One, and then 3 Evenly Matched. For my side deck, I don't ever go into any of these spell cards. And actually, I never have. I usually just go into Evenly Matched, or There Can Be Only One. Just Evenly Matched in case you're playing like another back row heavy deck. You can easily just out all those cards. I can't afford Lightning Storm. And Feather Duster is really good, but if it's just a one of, I mean that's more of like a main deck card than a side deck card. I'm not just gonna play it, or I just play Cosmic Cyclone at that point. Now some of these cards are kind of pricey, and I'm trying to keep all my decks online, like as budget as possible for some of my budget players out there. If you can't afford Evenly Matched, you can't afford Dark Lord No More, you can easily play like Dark Hole, Regeki, Hey Trunade, or yeah, I think it's called Hey Trunade. Really good card as well. It basically does the same thing. When it comes to like replacement cards for slightly expensive cards, you can't really always get the exact card that you want. But like I said, Dark Hole, Regeki kind of does the same thing, Evenly Matched as well. If not, you can easily just bait out some negates. And of course, you also got Mystic Mine there. I know a lot of people hate Mystic Mine. Everybody hates Mystic Mine. I hate Mystic Mine. Keep in mind though that we are playing True Dracos 2021. We're going up against Dragon Link, which can set up like 8 negates. I think it's fair for us to say, hey, when I play Mystic Mine, it's going to help me level out the playing field, and allow me just to like compete with competitive decks. And I think that's why Mystic Mine is sort of like a really good card to play as well. Like Dino players play Mystic Mine, so there's no reason why we can't play Mystic Mine, right? It's just a really good card. And if not, if you ever do get like that breaking hand, Mystic Mine just helps you kind of sit on your cards for a while you get to draw into more cards, and after that you can just just destroy it with your 2 Draco cards, or just replace it with Domain or Diagram. But that's basically it, guys, for my deck right now. What I'm going to do for you, I'm going to go and shuffle up the deck, and I'm going to showcase you guys one test hand just to show you show you guys like the way the deck plays out now with the amount of draw power that we get. It helps this deck not be so breaky like it used to be. We're not just going to rely on our floodgates. We're also going to rely on our draw cards as well. Basically, it plays out like pendulum. So what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to go and pause the video, shuffle up the deck, and I'll be right back in a second. So I got this deck shuffled up. I'm going to go ahead and cut it just here so we can showcase to you guys that the deck has not been stacked in any way at all whatsoever. And let's give you guys a test and hopefully I can showcase to you guys just the way the deck works. Alright, so not bad at all. So right away we've actually drawn into a couple of draw cards there, which is really what you want to see on your opening hand. In case you know, if we do get Ash, that's okay because we still have other draw cards as well, right? So first things first, activate Spellbook of Secrets here to add your Blue Boy. Of course, when we normal summon Blue Boy, that's going to get us the Spellbook of Knowledge, so we'll just go ahead and add that to our hand as well. Shuffle up the deck, cut it, so we're going to draw. Alright, so yeah, Blue Boy would add, Spellbook of Secrets would add your Blue Boy. Activate Spellbook of Knowledge. We tribute Blue Boy to get 2 cards. So Ignis, True Draco Heritage, and then we have still this in hand. So now you can actually activate Pantheism to discard Pantheism just to draw 2 again. Called a Duality. Another Ignis. So this is still going good for us, guys. We still have like a lot of we can still keep drawing here, and that's really, and we actually have a pretty decent handle, but you still want to see, like I said, your floodgate card. So we're gonna activate Paw Duality here to reveal 3 and then add 1 to our hand. So we drew into another Ignis diagram and another Majesty Maiden. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and add the diagram there. And then we'll shuffle back the Draco Slayer and the Ignis and the Maiden. Now, what we could do as well, we do have the ability to still draw a little bit more. What you could do is, as we've already normal summoned, you can activate True Draco Heritage here, activates effective tribute summons, so you can bring out Ignis by tributing Heritage. And you can activate your other Heritage as well. Since 1 True Draco card was sent to the graveyard, it allowed you to get a +1. So that's the Monarchs you're up there. Now at this point, what I would do is, since we still have the ability to draw 2 more cards, so what you can do now is you can go ahead and banish Pantheism from your graveyard. You can reveal 3 Monarch cards, and your opponent has to add 1 to your hand. What I would do is, like, I would add 2 of my domains and maybe like a March, just for that protection. I don't want to draw anymore because we already have kind of what we need. You could draw a little bit more, like if you want to draw into a Solemn Judgment, like if you know your opponent's playing like Lightning Storm or something like that, yeah. If your opponent just adds 1 to your hand, we're just going to add domain, just very quickly here. And you still have, I'm sorry about that glare right there. Let's move this card over. Yeah. So we still have all this in hand. We still have 6 cards. We start off with 5. We ended up with 6. We got 2 on the field. You could activate Pantheism right here to to pitch domain and draw more cards. But honestly, this is still really good right here. Like on our opponent's turn, we can still, like if we set True Draco Apocalypse, we can set the Erupt. We can activate domain there to lock out our opponent from the extra deck. And then we still have 2 cards in hand. If you're like honestly, sometimes it's better just to go ahead and normal summon Majesty, as we just done it from the beginning. Because now if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can easily add Dynamite, summon out Dynamite, True Draco Apocalypse, bring it out, pop 1 card on the field. If your opponent activates another card effect, you can essentially add another True Draco to your field, and then summon out Ignis that way. That way you got all 3 of your True Draco monsters on the field. You have your Erupt there, which is going to completely skill drain your opponent's monsters. And then you got Domain there, which is going to lock out your opponent from the extra deck. Now, had you chosen to activate Pantheism before passing to your opponent, yeah, you could have just sent Domain off, drawn 2 more cards. And yeah, so yeah, you would have had your Solemn Judgment there as well. Plus another card for your next turn to draw out again. And you would still have, seriously, like, this is like really good right here. You have your Floodgate there. You have the ability to bring out Dynamite on your opponent's turn, and also Ignis, depending on how many cards they activate. You got Solemn there to protect your back row. More likely your opponent's just gonna have to scoop on this, especially when you play like cards like like Erupt or like Skill Drain. Dragon Leaks can't do anything like that. They can use LP. They can use Romulus to add. There's just even if they bring out like what's the card's name? Chaos Dragon Levineer. They can't shuffle cards back into the deck, or they can't pop anything on the field. They're basically kind of hopeless. If they do bring out a big monster, you can always just use Apocalypse to pop Heritage here, and you have your opponent's attack points. I mean, or yeah, you have the attack points of all your opponent's monsters, and that's a permanent reduction, which kind of in the way helps you out when you're going to go into battle as well. But anyways, guys, this is it for my True Draco profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, when you see it, I mean, we on our first turn, I mean, we just drew into that many cards, right? We went like +9 here. Like, we plus more than Pendulums do, right? This is a really good deck. That's why I like playing it this way. Like I said, I don't want Pod Desires because I don't want to banish my main cards. Like, had I activate Pod Desires, I would have basically banished all of these and more just to draw 2 cards, right? I think this is a way better deck profile. I love this deck profile. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's worked out for me. Like I said, I've made it into the top 10% playing online. I've maintained that position after 3 weeks. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't have True Draco. It's not completely dead yet. Still playable. Try this profile a lot. If you guys like it, make sure you hit that like button down below. If you play your deck profile a little bit differently, comment as well. Leave it all down below for me to look at. Subscribe to my channel, guys, to give me that motivation to stay tuned with my content. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.